Let's get some prize picks in today, guys. Last night's picks went 3, reboot, and 2. So you can see here the Boston stack did not hit, but they both went under together because if you actually check what happened in the Celtics game, they only scored 91 points. I believe they were projected about 115, so they went way under their team total. And of course, no one cashed their overs. Jason Tatum went under for sure. Jaylen Brown only got 14 points. Derek White only got 3 assists. So no one's really cashing their props because they didn't score a lot of points. So it makes sense the less points that the overall team gets. Of course, both players on the team are more likely to go under their props. And vice versa if they were to score 130 or 140 points. Now, Jalen Smith only played 4 minutes. He didn't play the whole second half. I'm not sure if he got injured or what happened, but he got rebooted because he didn't play that second half. Obi Toppin cashed very easily, 23 points. And Miles Turner, like I said in last night's video, was not going to get as many minutes that he got the previous game. He only got 20 minutes, and he stayed right under that 16.5 points. And Obi Toppin was getting a lot of minutes. If Jalen Smith ended up getting the minutes, again, I don't know what happened. We would have cashed this on the over rebounds for sure if he actually would have got some game time. We got 0.4x our money back. And tonight on the board, I'm going to be doing a full 6-man slip, but I'm also going to go over this promo right here. You could see that if you win with all goblins, you get a free entry of $20. So of course, just put a $5 minimum entry. And I recommend doing a 3 flex because a 3 flex still counts as a win, even if you only get 2 out of 3. Prizepicks still considers a win, so you might as well go for the 3-man, so at least only 2 of your goblins have to hit. Now, honestly, you could do pretty much anything. Goblins, of course, are easy to hit, but some goblins are going to be better than others, so I'm going to show you the best ones. For example, like if we look at Max Drew, 7.5 points, his original line is at 10.5. That's going to be worse than something like Darius Garland, where you're getting a 5-point discount. So you kind of just want to look for the biggest discounts. And I already looked for some of them, and I listed them right here in the Discord. So Kevin Durant over 19.5 points. That's a great one. For example, his original line is set at 25.5. You can get at 19.5, so that's going to be an easy cash. Clayton Keller here in the NHL. Like, for example, these ones are pretty massive because when you're getting 2.5 shots versus 1.5 shots, there's a big difference, especially in the NHL. Clayton Keller's original line is set at 2.5 with like a 55% chance to hit. His over 1.5 is going to be at like a 70% chance to hit. So you could already lock these 2 guys in. And if you need a third one, you go to Banchero here and you slap in his over 17.5 points. So his original line is set at like 23.5. You're getting a 6-point discount. And here's the rest of the list if you need some assist props. So Shea on the over 3.5 assists, Middleton on the over 3.5 assists, Jokic on the over 9.5 rebounds. Again, both these guys are set at 5.5 assists respectively, so you're getting 2 assists of value, and Jokic on the over 9.5 points. And then Garcia here is set at 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs. We get him at 1.5 hits, runs, RBI. So if you're looking for this promo, I would just play one slip, $5, and hope that your goblins hit at least 2 out of 3, and then you get that free $20 entry tomorrow. So clearing that up, today's video is just going to be OddsJuice Stash for picks. Now, these picks usually do get bumped quite quick, so I'm going to show you all of them and hope that not all of them are going to be bumped. And we'll start with the MLB here. You can see these 2 picks are not as great as what I'm going to show you later because it's basically like the lowest win percentage you need on Prizepicks to actually break even. If you guys don't know, 5 and 6 flexes are the optimal way to play in terms of playing on a mathematical approach because you need to win your individual props at a lower rate than anything else compared to 2 powers, 3 powers, whatever it is. So for the MLB, we have these 2 picks here. Spencer Steer on the under 1.5 total bases for Cincinnati, and then Cutter Crawford on the under 15.5 pitching outs. So those are going to be 2 MLB picks. Now we can move over to soccer. We got Champions League soccer. You guys probably don't care about soccer that much, but Randall Colomuani for PSG on his under 0.5 shot on target. You could see this is a better pick than what we had in the MLB, hitting at about a 56% rate compared to MLB, where we're only hitting about a 54.5%. So we get 1.5 additional percent of edge there. Then we got Lewandowski on the under 2.5 shots, set at 55.5%. Then there's also Colum under 1.5 shots. So obviously go with his under shots on target prop because it's better than his regular under 1.5 shots. Then we got João Felix here, under 2 shots. I'm liking this one. He's set at 1.5 on the sports books with a 50% chance that he goes under 1.5. We get him at 2, so we're getting a push potential. The odds that we actually lose this line, so goes over 2.5 shots, meaning he gets 3, 4, 5, 6 shots, is very unlikely. We're going to at least push it. And I could even show you here, if I go on Bet365, for example, Felix shots, you're going to see that his 1.5 shots here, minus 120, meaning 50% chance that he goes over under that prop. If you go and look at his 2.5, he's all the way at plus 250. So there's a massive jump in soccer between 1.5 shots and 2.5 shots. Getting an extra shot in soccer is kind of equivalent to getting like an extra 2 rebounds in NBA. So obviously there's a big difference. Plus 250 odds that he goes over that 2.5. So it's a very, very nice line. Honestly, this is the best line in soccer at this moment. That being said, I just checked the expected lineup for Barcelona today. It doesn't look like João Felix is actually in the expected lineup, so I'm going to wait until the official lineups are out, which is 1 hour before the game. So I'm not going to use this in today's video because I'm not sure if he's going to start or not. But we're going to go over to the NBA and actually make a full slip. As always, you guys could do some of the soccer picks, It seems like the only one in expected lineup here is Lewandowski on his under 2.5 shots. If you're into soccer, wait for the lineups and check for Kolumwani and Felix if they're going to be in the starting lineup once it gets closer to game time. So these are some picks you could use as well as the MLB ones, but I'm actually going to build a full NBA slip and you could see a bunch of props that are kind of just positives with value plays. I don't have to do any research on these. Everything is baked into these numbers here, minus 127 or 56% win percentage. That has all kinds of data locked into it. It has the matchups, it has the past 10 games, it has how he's done in previous matchups. It has basically everything you could possibly think of, as well as injury news because Cat might be back in the lineup. I think at the moment we're pricing in Cat to not play tonight. From what I've seen in the news, it doesn't look like he's going to play this game, probably going to play next game before the playoffs start. But I'm comfortable taking Conley on his under 19.5 PRA either way. And if Cat surprisingly plays, then it's only going to help us on this line. So that's going to be the first pick in the NBA. We're going with Mike Conley under 19.5 PRA. And there was some Miami players on the board right before, but they just got taken off the Prizepicks board, so they're no longer on the dashboard. So next pick is actually going to be Donovan Mitchell on his over 20.5 points. And again, I don't really have to think too much about this. I just grab these picks. Cam Johnson under 20.5 PRA as the third one. Now the fourth pick, you could do a little bit of thinking here, right? If Cam Johnson's going under his PRA, does it make sense that Mikal Bridges goes over his 2.5 3-points made? I just don't think these props are that correlated. Even if it is a blowout, for example, Cam Johnson could still go under his 20.5 PRA, and Mikal Bridges could be the one blowing the Toronto Raptors out tonight, and he goes over his 2.5 3-points made. But in general, I don't think these are too correlated, so I'm comfortable taking them in the same slip. And if anything, it just helps us. Like, let's say Cam Johnson's having a bad game, Mikal Bridges is actually more likely to go over his 2.5 3-points made. So we're going to grab him on his over 2.5 3-points. So you see Mikal here on his 3-pointers, and it looks like he's a popular pick. Yeah, okay, he's cleared this in the past 4 out of 5. Again, I don't really care about this because everything's already baked into this number right here, minus 119 or 54.34% chance that he goes over that prop. So I didn't even really know about this past 4 to 5 because I don't really care about it. So that is going to be the first 4 picks. The last pick in the NBA is going to be Chris Middleton on his under 6 rebounds. So like João Felix, we have him at 5.5 on the sports books. We're getting him at 6 on Prizepicks. So 48.78% chance that he goes under 5.5. And again, we're getting him at 6. So there's a big difference between 5.5 and 6. How many times you guys lose by a half point? Very, very often. And when it comes to a rebound, it's even more important to get a half point than it is compared to a point. Like the difference between 24.5 points to 25 points is not as significant from 6 rebounds to 5.5 rebounds. To get that 7th rebound for us to actually lose, it's quite unlikely. So go with Chris Middleton on his under 6 rebounds to end off the NBA picks, and then we'll move over to MLB to get that last pick. And let's see what is on the board at the moment. It's actually a new best pick that just popped up. It's Tommy Henry on his over 4.5 pitcher strikeouts. So this dashboard is kind of constantly refreshing and finding the new best value because obviously lines are going to move as that is coming in, as new injuries are being announced, or just in general as money is coming in onto these lines. So Tommy Henry over 4.5 pitcher strikeouts is a good prop, but it starts at 3:10 p.m. This video is going to be going out about 1:30 p.m. Spencer Steer actually just got taken off the Prizepicks board. That's kind of the thing with this dashboard. You got to get these picks in quick, or else they're going to get bumped or completely removed from the Prizepicks board, which is very annoying. But we got Cutter Crawford here on the under 15.5 pitching outs, who is still on the board. So that's going to be the full 6-man slip. You can see we only have one push line. So if Chris Middleton does end up pushing, we at least get that 10x if everything else cashes, which is still a great payout. So that's going to be it.